Hey guys, how y'all doing? Time to bring some focus to your favorite and not so favorite geeky films. Cam here and welcome back to Cam in Focus. Before we get started, be sure to punch that subscribe button like Todd did when he punched the highlights out of her hair to stay up to date with geeky news and discussions. Geek News Now takes pride in being a reliable source of media news so that we don't keep getting hounded by clickbait. So hit that subscribe button and follow us on social media to join our family. And also, just as a reminder, do you want 10% off of some goodies? Want to treat your geeky loved one to some awesome gifts? Head on over to metallicdicegames.com and use the code GNN at checkout for 10% off your entire purchase. Or if apparel is more your thing, hit up rippedapparel.com and use the code GNN10. 2 sites, 2 codes, 10% off. Do it! With the recent 10th anniversary of the theatrical release of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I thought I'd take a closer look at this psychedelic trip of a film. Directed by Edgar Wright, this film is a fun, hilarious, and inventive comic book / video game adaptation that doesn't shy away from being exactly that. Between the fun transitions, the video game style special effects, the witty dialogue, and overblown action sequences, this film treads on territory seldom seen, and I love it. The story is pretty bare bones for the most part, with the fight scenes acting as metaphorical steps in Scott Pilgrim's character development. Each fight leaves him with a better understanding of exactly what he's fighting for, and even though he starts off incredibly unlikable, his journey is nonetheless endearing and you truly do want to see him succeed. Today, I want to discuss a different topic: the film's alternate ending. Now, as you know, I'm sure, if you've seen the film, at the end of it, Scott ends up with Ramona Flowers, the girl of his dreams for whom he fought throughout the entire film. Oh, spoiler alert, by the way. But in the alternate ending, Ramona goes away and Scott ends up with Knives, who was his girlfriend at the beginning of the film that had fallen head over heels for him. I've always been a sucker for stories in which the protagonist finds what they're looking for in the end, not in the way they expect, but in the way that's best for them. Like Blade Runner 2049. Kay fights because he thinks he's special, only to find out he's completely ordinary, his life given meaning by giving meaning to someone else's. Or Marriage Story, where Charlie and Nicole fight each other but end up realizing they need each other. Or Gladiator, where Maximus fights for freedom and dies. Sometimes the main character doesn't always get what they want or what they struggled for, but they still come out better because of it. Now, some people might find that to be kind of a cop-out, to have Scott lose the one thing he had been fighting for, but as Ramona tells him near the end of the film after he dies the first time,
maybe I'm not the one you should have been fighting for.
The context of that statement combined with Scott earning the
power of self-respect
and ending up with Knives at the end brings the context of the story into an entirely new light. Maybe self-respect was the idea of him understanding what he deserves, knowing that it's okay to step away from puppy love and that he shouldn't have to fight someone's exes just to date them. I think that when you look at the alternate ending and what fighting for oneself implies, that small turn of events completely changes the story leading up to it. When Scott first meets Ramona, he saw her almost like an achievement, something out of his reach that would complete him to acquire. Edgar Wright cleverly inserts small Easter eggs to reference that idea, such as this plug being way too high over Scott's head in this shot, giving us the impression that Ramona is out of his league or out of his reach. When he pursued her, he was still unlikable Scott. He wanted her, but he honestly had no real reason to. Other than her 7 evil exes and her shaky past, he knew almost nothing about her by the end. As his motivations change throughout the film and his goals come within reach, each new scene acts as a stepping stone towards making Scott a better person. Ramona, however, remains largely unchanged. Yeah, she has some emotional moments, but her character doesn't exactly get an arc. She doesn't gain any type of revelation that actually changes her character other than her slowly warming up to Scott. Knives, on the other hand, constantly pursues him and goes out of her way to show him how badly she wants him. She goes through several stages of character change that culminates in a badass final scene. All signs point to Knives being the better woman for Scott. When he fought the first evil ex, she was there. When he fought the second evil ex, well, she wasn't there, but she tried to see him after. Third evil ex, she was there. Fourth, there. Fifth and sixth, there. Seventh, there. And she kicked ass alongside him. To have Scott end up with Ramona, of course, is a nice ending, and it allows us to feel the relief and accomplishment of knowing he got the girl he fought so hard for. But what Scott was really fighting for was the ability to be seen as right and worthy for somebody. I think that if Scott had ended up with knives at the end, that would have changed the story in the sense that he's no longer fighting to prove he's good enough for a badass girl. He's fighting to be a better man for the girl he actually deserves, even though he doesn't realize it. And I find that idea to be profound. As Scott's character changes throughout the film, he's given almost every reason to think that Ramona might not be the right girl for him. But Knives, on the other hand, he just has more in common with her. And even when she's dumped, she still wants to be better for Scott, even going so far as to change her appearance to fit what she thinks he likes. Heck, Ramona doesn't even really invest much thought into his band, whereas Knives goes to every show, every practice, and never hesitates to support him. Ramona acts as the catalyst through which Scott was able to finally mature. Of course, that idea is present in the theatrical version, but the idea takes on a different and more interesting meaning when you take into consideration that Scott finds the contented happiness in Knives that he would have never been able to grasp had he not met the technicolor-haired, hammer-wielding badass of Ramona. If she hadn't caused so much conflict to enter Scott's life, he would have never become less aloof and self-absorbed, and he would have never been right for anyone in the end. So, to sum everything up, I truly believe that to have Scott end up with Knives at the end of the film completely changes the meaning of his character arc. From him fighting for the girl that he wants, to him becoming a better person for the girl he deserves. And while I do appreciate the ending that we got in the theatrical version, I'm glad that we've been given the option to look at things a different way. Well, that's all I got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed my little dive into Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I love this film. If you haven't watched it, sorry for the spoilers, but go watch it. Even if you already know the ending, the film is so much fun and so worth the view. This has been Cam in Focus, proud to be part of the Geek News Now network. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, links in the description below. And don't forget to use the codes GNN at Metallic Dice Games and GNN10 at RippedApparel.com to score 10% off your entire purchase. And before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to 200 subs, and I cannot tell you how proud I am. Have a wonderful day, everybody.